Welcome to Peoria Unified School District's 2019-2020 Opening of School Celebration. Please silence your phones and get ready to welcome the cadets from Cactus and Peoria High School's Junior ROTC for the presentation of colors. Then remain standing for the national anthem performed by Centennial High freshman Isabel Hernandez, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Coyote Hills kindergartner Bradley Hicks. Please rise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Yeah? Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation under
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Whenever I feel a bit down or overwhelmed by the weight of the world, I like to go to the playground of an elementary school. Most tend to think we live in a world that's filled with hatred, selfishness, cynicism, and greed. But that's not what I see. Sitting here on the playground, I see a world filled with opportunity. I see joy, laughter, love, and hope. It's not particularly newsworthy or notable. It's not trending on Twitter, and it won't grace the cover of a magazine. But it happens every day. Kids come here to a place that very well may be the only place where they feel like they belong. A place where they can run, laugh, and find friendship regardless of where they came from. Last year, we shared how the power of one makes an impact. Today, as one family, we hope you will see how together we can move mountains and shape the future.
Please welcome Chief Communications Officer Danielle Airy.
Welcome to the opening of schools. Today is one of the most exciting days of the school year. It's a day we get to reconnect with our peers and reignite our passion for education. If you were with us last year, you'll remember that we celebrated the power of one. Today, we'll celebrate the tremendous impact we can make when we come together, the power of one family. And we are an awful large family, right? A large family of educators that are committed to making a difference in our future generations. As we are in the spirit of family, I think it's only right that we take just a quick moment to have a moment of silence for the families all across the nation who may be suffering today from the tragedies that occurred all across our nation. Would you join me in a quick moment of silence? Thank you. Well, as we are all here in one big space, one big family, that doesn't happen too often. And in fact, there are not too many places all around the West Valley that can hold a family of our size. Would you join me in thanking CCV for hosting us once again this year? They are so generous, and we really appreciate it. And joining us this morning, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Ashley Wooldridge from CCV, if you'd welcome him.
Thank you, Danielle. And I just want to welcome, on behalf of our church, in my opinion, the best school district in our entire state, okay? Give yourselves a round of applause. I have that opinion not only because I know so many of you, I have that opinion because I'm a satisfied customer. I have 3 kids that are all a part of schools in your district. And I know firsthand how hard you work to make a difference transforming the next generation. And that's not just you teachers, that's the entire administration, that's the entire support staff. I'll tell you this. Our kids talk about some of you bus drivers and the impact you have on their lives. And so every single one of you are making a difference. Give yourselves a hand. Yeah. So as a church, we have the same mission. We want to transform the next generation. We love partnering with you. And I just want you to know, as a church, we are praying for every single one of you. And we're in your corner. And we believe this year may be your best year yet in making a difference in a child's life. So thank you again for being here. We're very pleased that you're here, and have a great school year.
Thank you. Thanks, Ash. Well, you may have noticed a theme to today's celebration. How many of you grew up watching Sesame Street? Yes, I know I did. It taught me the alphabet, how to count to 10 in Spanish. And for many of us, we were introduced to a diverse and colorful cast of characters, both human and Muppet. Well, this year marks really a significant milestone for Sesame Street. 50 years educating children in living rooms all around the nation. Well, it also marks a pretty significant milestone for us. 130 years of learning in classrooms all around the Northwest Valley. And while 6.2 million people will tune in to learn from Elmo and his friends each week, in less than 2 days, 37,000 students will be learning from us. We'll open 42 campuses, and it will take every one of us to ensure that every student, every day, is prepared to shape tomorrow. While many things have changed over the years, like Sesame Street, Peoria Unified has been focused on one thing: educating children. We should feel so lucky to have really a special part of Sesame Street here with us today. I can't wait to bring out our keynote speaker, who many of you may know as Maria from Sesame Street. That's right. That's right, Sonia Manzano has joined us today, and we will get to learn all about her journey from the South Bronx to Sesame Street. We're very excited to have her. And taking it back to Sesame Street, who remembers the People in Your Neighborhood song? Yes? You remember this song? Well, I think it's a great way to introduce you to some of the people in our Peoria Unified neighborhood. After all, it takes a big neighborhood like ours to educate the future. Well, some of the most passionate people in our neighborhood are our governing board members, and we are so lucky to have 3 of them that have joined us today. Would you join me in giving each of them a round of applause as I introduce them to you? Our governing board president, Mrs. Monica Ceja Martinez. Governing board member, Mr. David Sandoval. And governing board member, Mrs. Corey Underhill. We also have joining us today our fierce and fearless leader, our superintendent, Mrs. Linda Pallas Thompson. And we'll have the pleasure of hearing from her later on this morning. Well, recently, Mrs. Pallas Thompson brought someone new into our family, our deputy superintendent. I've asked him to join me this morning. Would you give a warm Peoria welcome to our new deputy superintendent and the newest guy in the neighborhood, Dr. Jason Reynolds. Take that. Thank you.
Good morning.
Hello, Dr. Reynolds. Thank you for joining us.
Wow.
It's kind of a lot of them, right?
There's a lot of you.
Well, it's not often we get the whole family together like this.
This is exciting. What a great event.
So I thought it might be a great way to, introduce you to all of them. I was thinking we'll just go in alphabetical order. That works, right?
One at a time.
Yep, okay. We'll have a test for you after that. Well, I thought it'd be great to introduce you to some of them. I know some of them you've met, some of them you haven't had an opportunity to meet just yet. The next group, our leadership team from the district, our executive cabinet, they've joined us today. If we can give them a round of applause. And also a part of our neighborhood and here to support our students and teachers is the Peoria Education Foundation. And I know some of them were out in the lobby greeting all of our staff members as they came in. I do want to take just a quick moment to recognize them. Our president, Tamara Caraway, alongside Peoria Vice Mayor, who's also on the foundation board, Bridget Binsbacher. She's here with them, I believe, this morning too. We're glad to have her. Former governing board member, Mrs. Kathy Connect, joins them as well. And I believe Tom Lagering and Joe Schiavone is here with them. So thank you so much to the foundation for being here. Now, Dr. Reynolds, I know you're no stranger to public schools. How long have you been in education?
This is my 26th year in public education.
26 years. So likely you've met a number of teachers. But you have not met teachers like this before.
That's what I've heard.
Teachers, where are you? You here? Yeah. We have an incredible group of teachers. Also want to make sure we introduce you to our bus drivers. They got a shout out earlier as well. But bus drivers, are you here with us today? Say hi to Dr. Reynolds. Yes? And I know many of you drove our staff members in this morning, so thank you for that. Once on campus, we know our students are fueling up for the day, and they have breakfast and lunch from our fabulous staff in food and nutrition. So I have to ask before we give them a big shout out, how are your juice pouch opening skills?
They are excellent. I have honed those with two children. I've got it down.
Okay, well, and I'm sure you spent plenty of time in the cafeteria.
Absolutely,
okay.
That's where the good food is.
So food and nutrition, are you here? Say hi to Dr. Reynolds if you are. Yes? Well, we could not do what we do without our amazing support staff here in the district. They help our students every way from, helping in the cafeteria. We've got staff members that are checking in the nurse's office for fevers. We've got career center specialists who are helping students decide what to do and where to go. They are so incredible, our support staff. Would you say hello to Dr. Reynolds, all of our support staff members out there? And I know we've got them from the classroom to the sports field. There are just so many that do so much. Choya, the DAC, we'll get you out to all these sites. We'll still include it on the test you'll have at the end.
Sounds great.
But we'll get you out there. From Choya, the DAC, the warehouse, all of you, would you say hi to Dr. Reynolds for us? Thank you. Well, we appreciate all that they do to make just such an incredible difference all across our district. So I have to ask you, Dr. Reynolds, you've been here for 33 days?
36 days.
Which in education years is basically like a cup of coffee.
That's exactly right.
Okay. So I know that you haven't, probably had a chance to get all around the district yet, but I have to ask, what have you noticed so far with your time in Peoria?
Well, it's absolutely incredible. I have not been the new guy in many, many years, and so to have the opportunity to meet such amazing people that are in every single one of our schools and every single one of our facilities, it's been absolutely incredible. I think one of the things that we take for granted, especially I think about my children, they're good kids. I love them, but they have their flaws. Much like myself and all of us, when you go to parent-teacher conferences and a teacher tells you, just goes on and on about how wonderful your children are, I look at Declan and I'm like, you don't behave the same way at school as you sometimes behave at home. So I think one of the values that comes with being the new person and coming in with a new lens, I get to show you and talk to you about the wonderful things that are happening every single day that sometimes we take for granted. This is gonna be an amazing year. I can't wait. I've been out to several schools. I've been around a lot of the facilities, but there is one thing that is still missing. When you go on to a school in July and you meet a few teachers, you meet the administrators, it's an amazing experience, but I cannot wait for 48 hours when the children of this district come to us and are challenging us to do what this community needs us to do, and that is to educate the youth of the Northwest Valley and for Peoria. I am incredibly excited to be here, and I cannot tell you how wonderful it is to be part of this family.
Oh, we're so glad to have you. So thank you so much for choosing Peoria. It is going to be just an absolute great year. As you were kind of starting to speak there, it occurred to me that there's a group I left out that I didn't get an opportunity to mention. Actually, I apologize, 2 groups, so hang with me for a quick second. Did not mention the finest in Glendale and Peoria. Did not mention the finest crossing guards that we have. And right on cue, Dr. Reynolds, I think that's your exit.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Park Ridge's very own Megan. Give her a hand. Thank you so much. Well, there is so much going on in our neighborhood all across the district. We're so looking forward to kicking off just an exciting year in Peoria Unified, our 130th year. You won't want to miss a minute of it. But I think it's time now to learn a few lessons from our keynote speaker, Sonia Manzano.
Smile the smiles and sing the songs. It won't take long. Somebody come and play today. Somebody come and play. Somebody come and play my way. Somebody come and rhyme the rhymes and laugh the laughs. It won't take time. Somebody come and play today.
Sonia Manzano is a first-generation mainland Puerto Rican raised in the South Bronx. She has affected the lives of millions of parents and children since the 1970s through her work on Sesame Street. In addition to her acting, Manzano eventually began writing scripts for the series and garnered 15 Emmy Awards. She has performed on the New York stage in critically acclaimed theater pieces and authored 3 novels plus her memoir, Becoming Maria, Love and Chaos in the South Bronx. In 2016, she received a Lifetime Achievement Award for her work at the 43rd Annual Daytime Emmy Awards. Please give a Peoria Unified welcome to Sonia Manzano.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is remarkable. I have given talks in many, many places, but I never had the whole town show up. Usually it's various groups here and there. This is the biggest crowd I think that I have ever addressed, maybe since Comic-Con just last week. We've all known children who come from chaotic, dysfunctional families, rise above it, and somehow see above the chaos around them. I was certainly one of those kids. We don't have to have all the answers. Kids have answers too. Sometimes all we have to do is point them in the right direction and watch them fly. It is noble to want to help kids, to teach kids, because every generation on some level hopes that the next generation is going to be smarter, better, more compassionate, wiser, and do better than we have done. I think that's why we all love the movie Extraterrestrial, E.T. I loved it when the kids are on the bicycles and the FBI guys are chasing them. And all of a sudden, just when the kids are going to get caught by the FBI guys, the bicycles take off and they fly across the moon, and everybody in the audience goes, oh. We love that feeling. We love that feeling because it means that the kids won. And we help them get there. So carry on. You are not alone. You have all the kids with you to help you if you fail. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Like most school districts across the valley, Peoria Unified receives funding for our people and programs from a maintenance and operations override. The M&O override funds healthcare professionals, assistant principals on all campuses, maintains class sizes and pays for programs such as arts, music, physical education, full-day kindergarten, reading, gifted education, and athletics and extracurricular activities. All Peoria Unified employees currently receive some of their compensation from the override that's in place. Our board recently called for an election where we'll ask our voters to renew and slightly increase our M&O override. The increase would fund safety initiatives like more counseling and intervention support service positions and additional staff compensation. In order to vote, you must be a registered voter in the state of Arizona. This election is a mail-in ballot-only election, meaning you must drop your ballot in the mail by November 1st. To learn more, visit peoriaunified.org/bonds and overrides. A big thank you to our band and orchestra educators for that rendition of Sunny Days. To share more about the coming year is our superintendent, Linda Pallas Thompson.
Okay. Whoa, whoa. Oh my God, what a wonderful, wonderful morning. Good morning, everybody. I am so unbelievably happy to be here. I am excited to be here, and I am grateful to be here, not only just in this facility, not only with all of you. I am so grateful to be here, okay? Here. And I need you to know that most of this is due to your love and your prayers. I can't begin to thank you enough. As Kermit the Frog said, he said, "Life is a movie, write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending." I can't thank each of you enough, my Peoria Street family, for all you've done to ensure that my family has gone through this torrential spring and is on to the most happy and wonderful year that we're about to have. Thank you, and thank you for making, although it hasn't been easy being green, you know, you've made the impossible possible and the possible certain. For 25 years, I have been writing my memoirs, and I know I need to finish them. It's about time. But I called them Unfinished Business. I had just gotten off the phone that morning with my mother 25 years ago. It was June. It was the end of the school year. And there was something in her voice that said to me, you need to book the next flight, which I did. Now, that's a big deal for me because I never fly alone. I've never gone really on trips alone until recently. But I'm at 1:30 a.m. on the red eye special. I'm halfway between Phoenix and Chicago, which is a massive feat for me. And I'm reading this book, The Celestine Prophecy. It's by James Redfield. It was a 1993 book about prophecies and how you live your life. I had gotten through all 9 prophecies, but the 6th one had captured my attention, and it was called, and I'll read to you, "Family Dynamics Create Control Dramas. Make your life a higher synthesis of your parents' life. Evolution entails finishing their unfinished business." I sat down, I closed the chapter, and I said, "Mom, what is your unfinished business?" And as soon as I said that, I knew, I was certain, not of what her unfinished business was. I was certain at that moment that my mom had died. I was sure of it. When I got off the plane, my brother met me at the gate. You were able to do that in those days. And he said, "We lost her." I said, "I know, about 1:30 in the morning." He looked at me puzzled and just didn't understand. "Mom, what was your unfinished business?" For more than 2 decades, I've been asking myself that what's her unfinished business? What is my unfinished business? And what does unfinished business actually mean? At first, I thought the answer to that question was, what dreams had she left unfulfilled? What had she not accomplished? What did she feel that she really wanted to do? But that wasn't it, because my mother was a do me, buy me, get me person, married to a do me, buy me, get me husband, who bought her and got her everything that she wanted in this lifetime. So that wasn't the answer. So then I started to look, and I said, well, in fact, if I don't buy or get or do things, will I, in fact, evolve? Will I have the time to evolve into a better person than I'm supposed to be? And if I don't evolve, will I remain like a stegosaurus or an appendix? And that drove me crazy. So then I said, well, perhaps unfinished business isn't a bucket list. Perhaps unfinished business is solving problems that you haven't solved yet, or looking at things that unanswered questions that need to be answered. Well, questions are kind of difficult, and what were they? And so then I started to think. I played, many of you know I was in theater, and I played the part of Sophia years ago. You know Sophia? Sophia was in a play by Neil Simon that no one knows called Fools. in Fools, it is, someone knew Fools. Okay, yeah, look at that. I played the part of Sophia, okay? Sophia is a girl in a town, the village of Klienshnikov, who had been cursed, this town with, she had, not only her, but the town, was cursed with terminal stupidity by the evil wizard, Count Gregor. A teacher comes to the town, his name is Leon, and if he is able to make one person in the town smart, the curse is going to be broken. I am Sophia. Sophia, he asks, what is your favorite color? My favorite color? Yes, Sophia, your favorite color. I think my favorite color, this is how she talked. I think my favorite color is yellow. Well, good, Sophia, good. Why? Why is yellow your favorite color? Because it doesn't stick to your fingers so much. Yeah, okay, fine. Can I have a harder question? I'm thinking that, a harder question. Well, okay, I've got one. This one, almost nobody can answer. Okay, I just want to hear the question. What is the meaning of life? Whoa. Do you have an answer? No, but I love the question. Okay, so wait. I think I know. You know the answer to the meaning of life. Yes. Well, Sophia, tell me. 12, 18, 22. I know I'm close. And you think we have problems with math, right, in our district? Perhaps, however, Sophia and Leon were on the right track. Perhaps the underlying question is what is the meaning of life, not what is my unfinished business. If I can get my raison d'etre, my reason for being, if we can answer that question, perhaps we'll have a clue to what's left to be done or completed. Now, as members of our Peoria family, we certainly know what our mission is. Every student, every day, prepared to shape tomorrow. What is it? Every student, every day, prepared to shape tomorrow. Right, and we have 4 strategic areas that we've looked at, that we are getting our perspective through. Student learning, stewardship, safety and well-being, and community connections. This is the lens which our community looks and decides if we're doing a good job. Now, for the past 18 months, we have assessed and planned and initiated initiatives, professional learning communities, phonics programs, emergency preparedness plans, safety audits, updates on budget. We've had community chats, community well-being, and we've talked about a lot of things to educate our community. We've secured land. This is just a few miles from here for a new school. We have converted our Challenger, or about to convert our Challenger Center into an arts annex. And we've passed resolutions in our community for financial literacy, student voting, and celebration of diversity and equity. Our transition plan has appeared not only to turn the tide and stop some of the bleeding, but has set the stage for a 5-year strategic plan which will boost achievement for all of our students, guarantee safety and well-being of all of our students and staff, and build new schools, optimize utilization of our facilities, and perhaps the most important, to finally increase much-deserved competitive salaries and benefits for all our employees. We know that we can never pay you what you're worth, but certainly we can start paying you what you're asking for. In our reality, our business is never finished. It truly is ongoing. But it has been said, and I truly believe, I have to believe at this point in my life, that the true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade we do not expect to sit. Now, we are an enormous community. We have 4,000 employees, 37,000 children, from preschool to 12th grade, and over 250,000 citizens. We certainly should be able to plant not only a tree, but an orchard which will help our children make sure that not only do they get the privilege that we have inherited by being part of this community, but by also ensuring that the legacy that we leave will be one that is positive, safe, and beautiful for all of our children for years to come. We understand that there's going to be obstacles. We understand that there's going to be divisions, and there's probably going to be a few mistakes. But as the famous philosopher Kermit the Frog said, "I'm not giving up. I'm still here. I'm still staying. Besides, if life were easy, it wouldn't be difficult." You are up to the challenge. We are up to the challenge because we are a family, an extraordinary family who knows what's right, who does what's right, and does it right now. We are Peoria. Have a wonderful year.
Well, it has been an incredible morning. How about one more round of applause for Sonia Manzano? And of course, our incredible superintendent. We know we are in good hands and looking forward to a great new year. A couple quick things before you get ready to head out and really officially kickstart your year. I hope you'll stop by and see our friends from the Peoria Education Foundation. They have a little something, a little collector's item for you, plus some pretty great giveaways, so they'll be ready for you out there. CCV, they have some waters for us today, so please be sure to take one of those as you head out or you head to the bus. It really is going to be a great year, and just remember, we are all in this neighborhood together.